What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? My name is Prodigy and welcome to our video on the channel. Today guys, we're going to be talking about a topic that I think is pretty interesting: character interactions we'd like to see in Kingdom Hearts Phase 2. Now, depending on how this goes, this could end up being a little mini-series, depending on how you guys like this, how much fun I have talking about this. But this was a topic recommended to me by my friend, the Frozen Cavern. I asked my Discord server, what are some future topics you guys would just like to see for videos or live streams, my little cage discussions. And this topic stood out to me and I was like, you know what, this is actually pretty cool. I want to talk about this. I remember in the pre-Kingdom Hearts 3 days, we had topics like this going on, but it was a little hard to like make those sorts of videos because we didn't know what Kingdom Hearts 3 would necessarily end up being. But we're just going to talk about characters that we want to see talk to each other, interact, closure, whether it's for story moments, whether it's just for fun, things we'd like to see in the next phase, the next saga. And that's a broad scope of story there, the next saga. That can mean the next game, the game after the next game, the game after the next game's next game. So it's a little easier to be creative with this one. But I think the most proper two characters to start this off with is I would love to see Kairi and Riku talk to each other. These two do not talk to each other, and when they do, it feels like Riku is just looking down on her. I want to see these two have a connection to each other, not just a mutual friendship because they're close to Sora. They grew up together, but we mostly see Sora talking about her. Riku had his little arc in Kingdom Hearts 1, which was very much involved with Kairi. That was a big factor to Riku's motivation, but it ended up being about something else in the end. But Riku did most of what he did in Kingdom Hearts 1 for her, but they didn't do much off of that in future games. After Kingdom Hearts 1, it became more about Riku and Sora's connection, their dynamic, rather than the Destiny Trio's dynamic. Sora had his thing going on with Riku, Sora also had his thing going on with Kairi, but Riku and Kairi kind of just shifted apart after Kingdom Hearts 1, it feels like. I can make a long list of possible interactions they could have had, but I'm just happy we got to see more of them together in Melody of Memory, which was really cool. Maybe them even fighting alongside each other in a future Kingdom Hearts game to help Sora would be super awesome. We got our cool Sora and Riku team up, our extremely cool Sora and Kairi team up. We need that Riku and Kairi team up. Give me a Riku and Kairi situation command. I don't know what it would look like at all, but just give it to me. It could have some like darkness and light theme. I don't know. It would just be really cool. Shinyon is another character I would love to see interact with, well, everyone. Okay, it's kind of cheating not picking a singular character, so I'll just pick one. If I had to, it'd be more interaction between her and Sora. I actually feel like her and Sora would really hit off as friends. I could see an interesting dynamic between the two characters, mostly because I think their personalities would mix quite well. Shinyon in Days, which they don't show much of in the movies, has this sassy but at the same time cheerful personality that keeps her and Axel and Roxas constantly talking to each other. It's a personality she showcases a lot of around them, but when she's by herself, she's just questioning her existence. So without the questioning her existence part, which was a major thing about her character, what's next? I feel like she could gain a lot of insight from Sora, and it's funny because we've seen plenty of Sora and Roxas, Sora and Naminé, but another character spawned from Sora's being, or at least partially being in Shinyon, hasn't had much interaction with him. So yeah, I would love to see a lot more of that. It's the only character with any sort of major connection to Sora that we haven't seen, you know, interaction between. But back to the everyone thing, I just want more Shinyon screen time, that's all. Ansem the Wise and Roxas. Now this is a big one. Roxas has every reason imaginable to hate Ansem. I wouldn't necessarily say that hate has probably gone away. It's probably toned down. Roxas is probably a little bit more grateful and can look on the bright side of things. Probably isn't as edgy. But I mean, yeah, Ansem's apprentices helped bring Roxas back, but that doesn't make up for the straight up mental abuse Ansem put Roxas through about being a nobody, using that to invalidate validate any of Roxas' feelings. Ansem even realizes this himself after the events of Kingdom Hearts 2, which leads to him looking for atonement in Kingdom Hearts 3. I just want to see them have a one-on-one talk with each other about things. It could be like a little therapy session. It would be pretty cool. I just want Roxas to look at him in the eye and just say, "Look at me. I'm real. I exist." I don't know, I think it'd make for some really interesting storytelling and character development for one of our favorite characters, Roxas. Now this last one's a little bit of a weird one, and is one that could actually happen very soon in Union Cross's finale. The Master and Brain. One of the Union leaders that for sure stands out the most. Then, at least. I don't know if it'll happen in Union Cross's finale or not. Maybe that's something they'd rather save for Dark Road or a future Kingdom Hearts game or future flashback scene. I don't know. I do know I want to see Brain have a convo with the Master of Masters no matter when it is. Brain is pretty smart and aware. I mean, well, given his name, it fits. I think him and the Master could have a really interesting dynamic. The Foretellers aren't the type of people to question every little thing the Master does. They'll question a little bit, but their trust in the Master prevents any further judgment of his actions that they otherwise would have. However, Brain, I bet, would just be hammering the Master with question after question after question. The Master would likely be annoyed at this, and we'd probably get some pretty funny dialogue between the two, but I think he'd admire Brain for that trait and would indulge him a bit. I don't know where else to go with this because we know so little about both of these characters, but I just think this is something I would love to see. And what also would make this a very interesting dynamic as well is the position Ericus's Keyblade might possibly be in now that we know Brain wields the Master Defender, and Luxu being the one who wields No Name, one of the most important Keyblades, if not the most important Keyblade in the series, having the Eye of the Masters in it and all. I mean, in some people's headcanons, maybe like those two Keyblades are supposed to be like polar opposites of each other, or maybe the wielders of both of those Keyblades are meant to be like at war with one another constantly or something. I don't know, I'm just saying crazy stuff at this point, but it'd be cool. I had a lot of fun talking about this though. I would definitely like to talk about some more character interactions in the future, because this was pretty fun to talk about. Tell me down below what you guys think about all of this. Do you guys want to see more character interactions between, you know, some of these characters that I listed off in phase 2? Would you like to see some with some different characters? Would you like to see more videos on this sort of topic? I mean, I can only make so many, of course, but just, are you interested? Let me know down below. However, that will be all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, share the video with a friend or a family member, and last but not least, if you have not already and want to become a part of the Union, all you have to do is hit that red subscribe button down below. My name is Prodigy, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out, you guys. Bye.